Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Tuesday, September 6th, 2022, and tonight I will be sharing true paranormal stories from the web. As always, you can find all the episodes of the podcast, along with links to social media, ways to donate, and ways to contact me at salcedoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions, or if you have stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or from others that you trust. Happy to either read those or have you join me on the show to talk about them. And as always, we can work around schedules as needed, so it doesn't have to be the usual days and times if that doesn't work. So I have 3 stories for y'all tonight, and I'll go through those, and then that'll be it until tomorrow. So thank you all for listening, whether you're here for the live stream or you listen on the podcast or YouTube feeds. I really appreciate all of your support. So I think that's it for now, and I will get to the stories here. I guess I have 3 of them tonight, and here is the first one. This one says, excuse me, if I can speak, that would be good. I visited my friend in a county in California last year. He lives several miles inland on a small farm. His property is beautiful. Being a city girl from Metro LA, however, it was a bit spooky for me. I can't do the woods. My trip was incredibly pleasant, though, and I felt revived after being up there for a few days. On the morning that he was taking me to the airport, he, his girlfriend, and I saw some seriously weird stuff. Mind you, he lives a bit of a drive from civilization, about 25 to 30 minutes to town, which is decent sized and has all kinds of stores and medical centers. We were on an empty country road with thick trees on either side of us, and no houses or evidence of human life, besides the paved roads, anywhere to be seen. It was a dark October morning. Out of absolute nowhere, on this stretch of road, we saw a huge flash of light that looked like what we assumed, lost my spot, that looked like a number of cars, there we go, with their brights on that were headed towards us on the other side of the road. It grew brighter and brighter. We thought nothing of it at first because we assumed that others were just on the road. But then as quickly as the lights started, they stopped, and there were no cars at all. Nothing was near us. The road was completely empty for miles. We were stunned. This next part is what scares me the most. I was the only one to notice this. I saw a man jump out of the way of our car the second before the lights went away. I mean, really, I saw a whole entire human male, probably about 5'8", jump out of the road onto the shoulder. I could see the headlights of my friend's car wrap around his body. I asked the others if they saw the man, and they said no. I am personally ambivalent about the paranormal and the afterlife and what have you, but there's really no way to explain what we saw. Was this paranormal? Are there reports of this happening to other people in this area or anywhere beyond? So that's the end of the story. Excuse me. And really, it is amazing in a way. It seems like at first lights can be almost anything in a way if you want to explain things away, but then this figure was seen. I wonder now, did this figure disappear once they got to the shoulder of the road? Of course, I guess if they were driving, then maybe she couldn't. The rider couldn't see, or couldn't look back at the shoulder of the road to see where the guy went. So maybe that's not possible to know. But just those two things combined, and the fact that she was the only one to see this figure, but everyone saw the lights. Um, Sounds like maybe some kind of anomaly to do with, who knows, some kind of portal, some kind of energy transfer, and then somebody from somewhere apparently materializing and then getting out of the way of the car and in the middle of all the lights that quickly vanished. So thought it was a neat story. Really amazing that those things happened. Lights in themselves can be strange, but then you have this as well, this figure that appeared out of nowhere. So I thought that was a weird enough story to share in the show. So I think I'll just move on to the next one because I have no idea how else to explain that. Then again, I guess that's really pretty hard to explain any of this, but anyway, let's see here. Let me find the start of the next story. This says, so kind of a backstory, I guess. My girlfriend has some weird stuff happening in her house. Steps outside her house at night, seeing stuff in the dark. Weirdly specific and sometimes real life predicting nightmares and the like. But we mostly brushed them off with some good enough explanation. Recently, she told me that on a few occasions she has seen her mom in two places at the same time. She has seen her in the bathroom, and then a few seconds later, she was in another room, spreading the sheets on the bed. Or one morning, she went to grab something to eat before going to school and walked past her mom's room, where she has seen something, what she thought was her mom, had a bigger body than normal, according to her. And after she went past her mom's room, towards the bathroom, she saw her mom standing there. But when she asked her mom about this, the mom said there couldn't have been anyone in the bed. So could this be a doppelganger? And that's how the story ends. I would say, in a way, that the key to that, I think, is that other figure in the bed. Maybe that looked bigger than the writer's mom. Although there could be a couple things going on there. If there's already other things happening anyway, then it could be apparitions of some kind. Even in the bed, if you look, you can find stories of either impressions in the bed, or once in a great while you'll find a story about someone seeing someone else in the bed, under the covers, basically a bump, like a figure beneath the blankets on a bed. So that's not, that's a little bit more rare, I think, but still does happen here and there, as far as reports go of that. And the mom being in two places a few seconds apart when there's no way that she could have physically gotten there, it could be some kind of a doppelganger or some kind of some kind of a time anomaly. Maybe even, I wonder if it was only a few seconds that passed for the writer, but then it was longer, maybe somehow. I don't know, but seems like there's a lot of, for the writer's girlfriend, I'm sorry. I forgot about that part. But for the experiencer, there we go. That'll work. But still, seems like that the writer's girlfriend has a lot of things going on anyway. So anything is possible there, I think. I have one more story here. These are going by quicker than I expected, so um, I apologize for that, but sometimes it happens. Um, this next one, let's see here, this last one, it starts, let me see here once I find it again. Okay. This one says, I've been a custodial supervisor at a college for the last 7 years. Before that, I was a custodian at the same college for 7 years. I have cleaned and been in every building on campus for early mornings or late at night, and have seen and heard a lot of things in the last 14 years since I've started working here. One of the buildings that I used to clean wasn't a huge building. It has 3 floors with 2 classrooms on each floor, one on the east and the other on the west side of the building. Now, to get to the classrooms, there is a staircase in the middle of the building with a heavy metal glass door that leads to a small hallway and a couple of offices and the classroom. In the first few months that I had been cleaning this building, everything was pretty quiet until one morning when I was on the third floor, cleaning one of my last classrooms for the day. I had been wiping down a table when, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a man standing to the left of me. He had on a green, yellowish striped sweater, and I remember thinking in that split moment that it looked like something from the 70s. Thinking a student got there early for class, I told him, sorry, I'll be finished in a minute. And as I was saying this, I turned my head all the way to face him, and no one was there. There was nowhere for anyone to go. I even checked the building. I was still the only person there. To top it off, the front door was still locked. I told this to my husband, who works as a custodian at the college with me. Of course, he believed me completely and thought I was seeing things. That is, until the following year, it became his building to clean in the mornings. He called me one day, freaking out because he was in the classroom on the second floor, which was right under the classroom I saw someone in. He heard what sounded like someone right above him walking around, moving things like chairs, and just making a ruckus. So right away, he would go up the stairs, thinking the same thing as I did, that students came in early. So he went up there to grab the trash and do a quick clean, and found the classroom still locked and completely empty. This happened to him at least twice. So that's the end of the story, and I think it's really amazing. And again, I love those stories where you have the person that doesn't believe that anything's going on, and then something happens, changes their mind. So really glad that that happened in a way. At least it wasn't anything too terrifying in a way. Still frightening, I imagine, if it's you've never had an experience before, but also just an amazing story. So um, yeah, I I think those stories of people that have experiences in buildings that are not houses or hotels or hospitals, anything like that. I think those kind of those stories of being in public settings are amazing in a way because they're not what you would usually think of when you think of a haunting, it seems. So I always love when I can find a story like that. And again, with the person that didn't quite believe until something happened for them. So neat story. And yeah, so I think that happens, and I wonder how often it happens where no one no one does write in, and just how often this happens everywhere. So, um, and I think that's it for today. Thank you all for being here for such a short show, but I will be back tomorrow night with the next part of the Lovecraft complete fiction review. So that should be fun. I always enjoy those. And until then, have a great night, and I will talk to you all on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Take care.